Hello everyone, Rhiannon from The Gamer here, speaking to you just after a trip to Dundee in Scotland to see 4J Studios. If that name is familiar to you, that's not too surprising. 4J Studios has worked on a ton of games since being formed in 2005, but they are perhaps best known as the developer behind Minecraft's console ports. I do have an interview going up on The Gamer soon where 4J developers speak with me about their time on Minecraft, but today I'm here to talk about their latest game, Manic Mechanics. Manic Mechanics launched on Switch last year and it's just over a week away from coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. We were playing on PS4, so that's what you're seeing here. As a side note, it's been a while since I demoed a new release on PS4, so it was nice to see how the game runs on a console that more of us have lying around than a PS5. Before I go any further, I'll give those of you that haven't heard of it before a quick rundown of everything that's going on here. Manic Mechanics is a co-op party game where up to 4 players work as mechanics, fixing as many cars as you can in a set amount of time. As you can see, there are various different parts to make and each car has different requirements. Every part has to be fixed or prepared in some way before it's ready to go to the car, so that's why you can see us carrying them around or sometimes throwing them around to different workstations around the level. And if you think this looks a little bit like Overcooked, there is a good reason for it. I was told that the developers played a lot of Overcooked while they were developing Manic Mechanics, and it really shows. But interestingly, it's not just the visuals. The similarities of Overcooked showed the most in how we actually approach playing the game. You can't see this in the footage, but almost every game had a self-appointed head chef almost, that was calling out the parts we needed and asking where they were. Sometimes we were just mumbling to ourselves as we worked individually, but we always did the best when someone was saying what we needed. Communication only became more important in the harder levels where there are a bunch of different things to juggle. You not only get new parts to make like electric engines that need batteries, but there are also new obstacles to look out for. Using the batteries as an example, if you chuck them into a body of water, they'll electrocute everyone. Or if no one's on cleanup duty, the oil could pile up and set someone on fire. So it really helps to delegate tasks or at least call out what you're doing. With that said, that's definitely not the only way to play, so it doesn't have to get super intense if you're playing with family members. It also helps that each task you need to complete is simple enough, so it shouldn't be too intimidating for anyone who isn't overly familiar with a game's controller, which is great because I think that's where the game's appeal comes from, the ability to play with anyone. Like I said, it's up to 4 players and that does include classic couch co-op. You can play online, albeit not with crossplay, but local multiplayer is definitely where there's the most fun to be had. Moving on from the gameplay and taking a look at the performance, I'm happy to say that it runs pretty great. Everything was very smooth and fast paced no matter what was going on screen. Any sort of slowdown or frame rate drop was so insignificant that it didn't get in the way of what we were doing. We did experience one bug where me and another player tried to do the same task at once, and instead of blocking one of us from doing it, we just fused together and got stuck in the same place. We had to reset the match, but we never experienced anything like this again, and we were playing for a while and on a variety of different maps, so it doesn't seem like this is a common bug at all. It's also worth mentioning that this is on a pre-release build of Manic Mechanics. It's not coming to PlayStation, Xbox and PC until March the 7th, so there's still time for improvements to be made. As for my overall thoughts, I think that Manic Mechanics is an incredibly fun party game that makes a conscious effort to keep players engaged with each level, rather than just being a one-hit wonder. Can I see myself sitting down and playing this on my own? No, but it could be a nice break from Mario Kart when my family comes over, and one that has us working together for once. And if we do feel like hitting each other, there is a versus mode, so that does add another thing for us to do if the usual gameplay loop is ever getting a bit stale. That said, teamwork is definitely what makes the game shine. If you are looking to play in single player, I think you might be best picking up the Switch release that's already out. It's something I could see passing the time when you're on the train or something like that. Again, not sure if the campaign would be enough to hold me over on my own, which might push me towards the more multiplayer friendly Switch release. But hey, if you do have enough controllers lying around on PlayStation and Xbox, this is a great port of a fun party game made by a developer that's very passionate about keeping couch co-op alive. I'm looking forward to seeing what else 4J has on the cards now that it's working on its own games, and if the fact that it's gone from Minecraft to Manic Mechanics is any indication, its next game really could be anything. In the meantime though, if you like the look of Manic Mechanics, you can pick it up on Switch now and on other platforms from March the 7th. That's all from me today. If you're interested in hearing more about my trip to 4J, then keep an eye on The Gamer for my interview with the developers, but until then, thanks for watching.